A very good morning, children. Children, today in our revision video, we shall take up some grammar topics. And this is the 6th video of your revision. So let's start with grammar topics. It's even called language study. And we start with tenses. Do you remember what we had done in tenses? Yes? You remember that we had done the 3 types of tenses, the present, past, and the future. Yes? And in that we have the 4 types. In each tenses we have 4 types. Like in the present tense we have present simple tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. Then in the past tense we have the past simple tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous. Likewise in the future tense we had future simple tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. So let's understand this with example. Let's take a very simple example. I'll play football. This is simple present, right? Now when it is continuous, what are you going to see? That it is ing. Okay, but in the present tense. So I am playing football. Present perfect, the action is done. So we say I have played football. Present perfect continues. I have been playing football. So let's see in the past tense now. How do we write that? I played football. Ed is there, so it's a simple past. Then past continues. I was playing football. Okay, the was and ing. Past perfect, the action is done. We see it as I had played football. And past perfect continues. I had been playing football. Coming to the future tense now. Simple future. I will play football. What about the continuous? How will it be? I will be playing football. Future perfect. I would have played football. And future perfect continues. I would have been playing football. So you see, in the perfect continuous, in all these 3 types of tense, it is being, playing. That is common there, okay, with the verbs. So you always can remember that in the perfect, in all the 3 tenses of perfect continuous. Now let's see what is modal auxiliaries. Children, modal auxiliaries, you should know all these modal auxiliaries by heart, okay? Like you have can, could, may, might, must, ought to, shall, should, will, would. So modal auxiliaries generally express a speaker's attitude or moods. For example, modals can express that a speaker feels something is necessary, advisable, permissible, possible, or probable. And in addition, they can convey the strength of these attitudes. So let's see it with examples. How do you put it? Now suppose if you're talking about ability. So you say can, could. David can speak 3 languages. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. So this is talking about ability. Okay. Permission, can, could, may. How do you put that? Can I sit in that chair, please? Could I open the window? May I borrow your dictionary? This is for permission. Advice, should. You should visit your dentist at least twice a week. You should try to lose weight. What about obligation? Must, have to. I must memorize all of these rules about tenses. You have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque. And possibility. In possibility you have might, may, could, can. So how do you write that? It looks nice, but it might be very expensive. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. So in modal auxiliaries, you have these different kinds. Please see that you memorize all of them. And in sentences, you get a fill in the blanks and you say write down the modal auxiliary or underline the modal auxiliaries. Okay. Then you remember, children, we had done use the same word as noun and verb. Yes. Let's see that also with examples. Now take for example the word love. Okay, now you have to use this word as noun as well as a verb in a sentence. So how do you put that? People need love. Now, which is a verb there? Need is a verb. Love becomes the noun. Now, suppose I want to make it as a verb in the sentence. I have to say, I love to paint in my free time. So here now the word love is an action word. Therefore, it becomes a verb. So be very careful when you're making it into a noun and verb. No? You have to see that when you're making it a noun, it's not a action word. And let's see another example to understand this better. See the word travel. Travel broadens the mind. Now, your travel is not an action word. It's a noun. Broadens is talking about the verb. Okay. Then, if I say I generally travel alone, okay, your travel becomes the verb. Therefore, here we use the word travel as noun and as well as a verb. Let's take another example also. Answer. Now, this answer was right. So here it's a noun because was becomes the verb. Okay, answer here becomes the noun. And if I have to say, I answer my teacher in class, that's showing action. So here the word answer becomes the verb. Alright, so when you are doing these sentences, using them as noun and verb, please see that where you place them and whether it's an action word or whether it's a noun word. That's important. Let's revise a little on compound words that we had done. What are compound words, children? Do you remember? We had done this and it said that when two or more words are joined together to create a new word that has an entirely new meaning, then they are called compound words. Like take for example, you have sun. By itself, it is a word, okay? Flower also is a separate word. But when we put it together, sunflower, it becomes a new word, sunflower. So that becomes a compound word. You're putting two words together. Then you have another example, door plus bed. You put these two words together, it becomes two bed. So, how many types of compound words are there? We have three types. We have compound, open compound words. Now, what are open compound words? They are like, without, you just leave a gap in between. You say ice cream, supermarket, okay, middle class, full moon. These are open compound words. Closed compound words, when you don't have a gap in between. You say football, moonlight, notebook, homework. These are all closed compound words. And hyphenated compound words, long term, where you put an hyphen in between. Long term, six-pack, check-in, mother-in-law, 72. These are all with hyphens. So, when you join two words together, making it a new word, okay, that becomes a compound word. And there are three types. Remember that. Now, coming to a very easy topic. Most of you know this, but we have to be careful about the rules of the question tag, okay? And when we are talking about question tags, we use question tags at the end of the statement to ask for confirmation, okay? And when you're talking about the structure, when you have a positive statement, you have a negative question tag. And when you have a negative statement, you have a positive question tag. So you can see in the example here, you are a technician. Now this is a positive. So what will be the question tag? Negative. Aren't you? Okay. With an apostrophe here, you can see that. Okay. And question mark. With a comma there after the statement, you put the entire statement down, put a comma and you put there and put a question mark. Don't put the question mark, no marks. Okay. Then here, you have a negative statement. You are not a technician. So you put it as a positive question tag. Let's see some more examples. She likes tennis. Doesn't she? Positive statement, negative question tag. And see all the punctuations are children. You have a comma, doesn't here you put apostrophe, okay, and question mark, right? My brother didn't listen to pop music. Comma, did he? Question mark. They will go to the party, birthday party. Will is here, it's positive, so here it will be negative. Won't they? Question mark. It hasn't rained yet, so it's a negative, so you have a positive question tag, has it, okay, and question mark. So here you have options with options, you have some questions, question tags come at the end. Always remember, it comes at the end of a statement. Then the sentence, when the sentence is affirmative, we use negative tag. When the sentence is negative, we use affirmative. Affirmative meaning positive question tag. And what is the form when you write a question tag? You have auxiliary verb plus subject, personal pronoun. Like see here, we have the verb and your personal pronoun. He or she. Here it is my brother, so obviously it will be he. Okay? That's the way you're going to do your question tag. Now let's see how a little about positive question tags. If you have positive and negative statements and you have to put positive tags. These are all easy. We've done before, but I'm just revising through it. You aren't a teacher. You aren't a teacher. Are you? Okay. So a negative question tag. A sentence, you have a positive question tag. Okay. He isn't crazy, is he? He wasn't relaxed, was he? They weren't late, were they? You don't speak French, do you? You didn't study for the test, did you? You haven't been here all week, have you? You hadn't done it before then, had you? You won't fail the exam, will you? You can't drive a car, can you? You couldn't do it for me, could you? You mustn't say anything, must we? You shouldn't be so busy, should you? And you wouldn't stop me, would you? So all the negative sentences here have a positive question tag. But there are some exceptionals, okay? Now say statement using barely, hardly, neither, no, nobody, none, nothing and seldom are treated as negative statements. So when these words come, children, remember these are negative. Okay, so nobody went to the meeting. So nobody here we are talking about negative. So it will be what question tag? It will be positive. Did they? Okay, nobody went. So did they? And nothing is ready. Nothing also is negative. So it will be positive question. Is it? Okay, now these are exceptional ones. So you need to remember them separately. Then coming to the negative question tags. When the statement is positive, how do you write it as negative? You are a student, aren't you? He is very busy, isn't he? He was happy, wasn't he? They were surprised, weren't they? You speak English, don't you? He studies Spanish, doesn't he? You studied for the test, didn't you? You have studied all week, haven't you? You had arrived before he left, hadn't you? You will pass the exam, won't you? You can speak 2 languages, can't you? You could do it for me, couldn't you? You must be patient, mustn't we? You should go now, shouldn't you? And you would like a new job, wouldn't you? And we have exceptionals here also. I am late, and I. Children, always remember when that am comes there, you have to put anti for negative. Okay, question tag. And let's go home, shall we? Now we have exceptionals here in the question tags, like when you have let's. Okay, let's consider these examples too when question tag. Let's sunbathe today. Now, when the let's come, that's a hint that it is a positive. It's a statement is positive. Question tag also will be positive. Shall we? Okay, I'm getting red and tie. Okay, pass me the salt. Now this is an imperative, like a command. So, will you? So negative words, no, never, hardly, nobody, little, which stand for negative verb, they need a positive question tag. Like he never comes, does he? Okay, so you never is negative, so question tag will be positive. And there is no reason for leaving now. So this is a negative statement with a positive question tag. Okay, so far we've just seen into some topics like tenses, we saw modal auxiliary, compound words, and we saw even question tag. We'll see the other topics of grammar in the next class. So I want you to go through this tutorial again. Okay, do the assignment that I'm giving you every day, a little assignment. Please practice those assignments and be ready. Okay, do it every day because that will help you to understand the topic well. Thank you, children, for giving me a listening ear, and God bless you.